Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Amazon seller journey session. I told you I'd get back on it. You might not believe me, but I am back on it. And today I am joined by Cole. Hi, Cole. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So Cole actually reached out after having seen some of our other sessions and asked if he could come on and share his story. And who am I to say no? So, Cole, the floor is yours. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Cool. So I'm Cole. I've been doing Amazon for about a year and a half now. It started off slow, but we're starting to build up now, starting to see some nice numbers. I live near Norwich. I'm 21, just turned 21. So yeah, my journey's off to a decent start and I'm looking to take it further.
Awesome. Um, and so obviously you've just turned 21, young entrepreneur, Amazon seller in the making. I mean, you already have been made, I guess, but like you're looking to build as well. If you rewind the clock a few years and I don't know, say you're now talking to your 16-year-old self, like, is this where you saw yourself at this point in time? Or did you think that you'd be doing something different?
Definitely not. So it's a funny story. About 2 years ago, I was actually working an apprenticeship and I was doing a college course for plumbing.
Hmm.
Now, I didn't overly want to do plumbing. It's something that just, mum wanted me to do a college course. So I thought, well, that looks all right. I'll do that. So we kind of went with plumbing.
Yeah.
I was in it for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And then, yeah, like I say, got onto the apprenticeship earning about £5 an hour. Was not happy with it at all. I
Yeah.
was kind of looking at my options online, seeing what other people were doing to make their money.
Mhm.
At that time, I came across reselling, so I'd done about 2 to 3 years of actually reselling clothes, shoes, stuff like that. Made some decent money, but it wasn't enough. So I was still looking for other things to be doing. And then I come across Amazon FBA just on YouTube one day. I thought this looks like a big opportunity, something that I'd be interested in. So I gave it a try, got set up. And obviously, when saw my first sale, I knew it was something that was actually working, something that was going to be able to be. Because with me, when I see something actually works, I'm ready to just go all in on it and just actually make it happen from that point.
Mhm.
I could see the vision, so I just went all in on it, started to build some decent money, and I woke up one day on holiday, actually, in Portugal, and just decided I'm not working for £5 an hour anymore. Just
Yeah.
messaged my boss, quit right there and then, and I haven't felt that free in my whole life. So that was a very good turning point for me.
Mhm.
And then from there, it was just a case of, really getting into Amazon and building up my knowledge, growing the business and sticking to it really.
Mhm. Do
So
you
yeah.
sell clothes now, or have you sort of like turned to just whatever's profitable?
So no, I stopped about the start of this year because I simply wanted to go all in on Amazon because the clothes, it made me a decent amount of money. Like I built up some funds that I was then able to invest into this business.
Mhm.
And it was good, but it was very time consuming. And it kind of hit a point where because I don't live in like a massive area, like my city's pretty small, so it's hard for me to scale. I'm not sitting and saying I couldn't, I definitely couldn't have, but it got to a point where I wasn't even enjoying it all that much anyway, because day in, day out, I'm dealing with clients. A lot of them are just wasting your time.
Mhm.
So it was good, but it's just not what I wanted to do for the rest of my time. So I just decided that I'd go all in on Amazon. It came to the point where Amazon was making me more money than the reselling was anyway. So I thought, why not just double down on it?
Yeah. I imagine that like to this day, there's probably still elements of that like reselling of clothes that has helped like with Amazon, like for example, like dealing with customers and stuff. Um, just like the general gist of reselling. I'm sure that there's a few things from that sort of like still sort of like help you to and I guess it like for a lot of people with Amazon, like if they just get started from it and say if they came directly from plumbing to Amazon, there's obviously a gap there to fill with knowledge and stuff, but I imagine you already had that from having done a bit of reselling prior.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So even stuff from like just knowing to make sure you've always got stock available to be sold, because that's something I learned through reselling. Like you might have a product that sells really well, and then if you then don't have that product in stock for a week, you're missing out on money that could just be made from sales. So it's the same with Amazon. If you don't have your stock arrived waiting to be sold at Amazon, you're missing out on free money basically. Well, not free, but you get the gist of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you probably started to like when you probably started to go all in with Amazon, what did you find was sort of like the best way to like get to grips with it and like learn the ins and outs of it? Because obviously you've got a bit of like reselling knowledge there, but then obviously it's just like learning the various like ins and outs of Amazon. Like what did you find was the best way of like learning all of that?
In all honesty, it was all about just putting the repetitions in. Like I find with Amazon, you've got to put a lot of work in, and the more you do put in, the more you're going to learn. The more times you do it, the better you get at it. So it was a case of that. And then when I've built it to a point where I'm actually, very knowledgeable with the business model, I know what I'm doing, and now like I'm able to just scale it. It got to a point where I was like, well, I'm spending, 3, 4 hours a day sourcing, whatever it may be, and then, a couple hours packaging products, but I'm not able to put my time into actually scaling the business because I don't have much spare time after that. So it got to a point where I was like, well, I could hire a virtual assistant
Mhm.
and pay them, 250, £3 an hour, or whatever it may be, someone from the Philippines, and they could be doing the sourcing for me. Obviously, I'd have to train them up, whatnot, but then that's going to
Yeah.
free up a lot of time in the business so that I can scale it to them higher levels that I want to reach.
Mhm.
And so that's what I did.
Yeah. And how is that like working for you now? Like since you've started delegating tasks to your VA, like what have you been able to do with the extra time on your hands?
So it's allowed me to kind of dive into more advanced strategies because obviously I started with online and retail arbitrage.
Yeah.
And to be honest, my goal was to maximize OA as much as I could and then get into wholesale.
Yeah.
And that is what I've managed to do. So I've got OA to a pretty good level.
Hmm.
And then, like I say, now I've been looking more into wholesale. It's allowed me to learn a new strategy, start applying it, and then my virtual assistant is just focusing more on OA. So
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got OA running in the background, and I'm learning and starting wholesale for myself, which is obviously allowing me to increase and grow the business, which is good.
And how did you find getting started with wholesale? Because obviously, like OA and RA are one thing, but wholesale is like the next kind of
Mm.
like step up. Like, how
Yeah.
did you find getting started with that? Like reaching out and so like starting partnerships, relationships with wholesale suppliers and such.
Yeah, so it's a completely different ball game, isn't it? Like I liked it because it's a challenge, to be honest. Compared to OA, like you can find a deal, or in my case, your virtual assistant will find a deal. You go on your sheet and just purchase it as long as it's making sense, right? With wholesale, like you say, you've got to build them connections with the brand. It feels like it's actually a more in concrete, established business. It's something serious now, and I
Mhm.
like that factor of it. Um, yeah, it's definitely more challenging.
Mhm.
But I know with that comes higher rewards as well. It's just,
Yeah, yeah.
a waiting game. And it's the same as any business really, as long as you're putting the work in and, getting them repetitions in, it's gonna grow with time. Like for example, with wholesale, you may call for say 100 suppliers. 10, 20 of them may open accounts with you, but only, five may actually be profitable, just for example. So it's really just a numbers game about how much work you're putting in, how many suppliers you're calling. That's going to equal the results. And you could get five suppliers that are actually, giving you decent, profitable products, and that could form a business for you just there.
Mhm.
So that could be bringing in a good percentage of your sales. So the potential is definitely there. I just feel like it is a case of getting them repetitions in and growing it with time.
Mhm. And what did you find was like the best way of finding wholesale suppliers? Because something that I do see quite often is people saying it's all well and good like getting into wholesale, but how do I actually find some like good suppliers? Like what would be your advice on that?
So the way I do it is I go through Amazon and find the brands that are already performing decently. I don't want to be looking for brands that are, selling thousands of times a month because the chances are they've already got people working for them or they're selling on the platform themselves. So the chances of me getting profitable prices are very low. Maybe if you're spending tens and tens of thousands with them, you may be able to get some margins, but it's going to be difficult. So you do want to be looking for the brands that have, they're performing decently, getting, a few hundred sales per month, but not in them big ranges of thousands of sales per month because it's just too saturated.
Mhm.
So yeah.
And just throwing it back a little bit to like VA stuff, because I'm sure people will be interested to know. So, how did you go about finding your VA? And then once you found them, like what was your sort of like interview process like if you did do one?
Yeah, so I actually went through an agency that found my VA.
I see.
And then obviously they kind of done the initial training and vetting process themselves.
Yeah.
Then they kind of handed the VA over to me. And from that point, I had to obviously do the little introduction. And then when I kind of decided that, yeah, it seems like someone that I'm happy to work with, and then I basically just train them up to my standards because obviously they're going to have that basic training, but they're not going to know what your needs are as an Amazon seller. So you've got to train them to your standards, and they're not going to be perfect when you first get them. You are going to have to still put time into training them,
Yeah.
but then when you have spent that time, they're going to be the way I see it. You could be spending 3 hours a day sourcing and you could find a decent amount of deals. This VA is going to be spending 8 hours a day, every day, obviously 5 days a week, 6 days a week, whatever. And they're going to be spending all that time finding these deals for you. So it's so much more efficient. And for the price range, it's just a no-brainer, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Like if I could pay for someone £350-ish a month, then they're going to be providing me way more deals than I'd find myself because they're putting a lot more time into it. It's so much more efficient.
Mhm.
And so yeah, obviously, like I say in the beginning, they weren't perfect. They'd be making mistakes. Sometimes they'd provide deals that were just rubbish. But that's where you got to correct them, step in and actually teach them, like I say, train them to your standards. And
Yeah.
then each time you do that, they're going to be getting better. They're going to learn and provide you better deals in the future.
Mhm. And like now, obviously you've had your VA for a while. How often do you sort of like meet like with your VA? Obviously, you're not going to fly all the way over there and meet them, but like, how often do you sort of like have a meeting like this?
So
Do
it
more?
used it used to be like every couple of days in the beginning, I'd be calling them. But to be honest, now it's not all that often at all, maybe like once a month.
Yeah.
I do contact with them daily through Skype, so I'm messaging them quite often, but I won't be calling them as such because I've built them up to a point now where they know what they're doing with it. If they've got questions, they'll come to me. If there's something they're unsure about, they'll come to me for guidance, and then I can help them through it. If I've
Mhm.
got anything that I need them to do, I can instruct them on it. So when you do have them trained up to your standards, you don't have to invest as much time into them, and you can really start focusing in, growing your business. So
Yeah.
it's definitely beneficial.
In the future, do you think there could be more VAs on the cards? Or are you happy with just the one?
Yeah, for sure. So when I do have more knowledge in wholesale myself, and I've been doing it for some time, I'll then be looking to get a wholesale VA that
Mhm.
I can train up to my standards with that strategy. And then obviously they can be doing the reach outs, whatnot, the product sourcing. So then who knows, maybe I can look into a next method, or we'll see what the time what we're wanting to do when the time comes. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely what's to come.
So it seems like ultimately like getting on with wholesale's the goal for now, which is quite a commendable achievement. So hats off to you. But with like getting into Amazon in like the first place, especially like how far you've come and where you are now, like what would you say? Like I don't know if you have like a main goal because like literally the goal can just be I just want to make more money. But do you have like any sort of like little sort of like milestone goals or like bigger goals in mind for the future?
So yeah, I like to set goals a lot, to be honest, and I feel like it's helped me achieve everything I have up until this point.
Mm,
Because I feel when you set a goal, it's something to work towards, and in my brain, it allows me to then put steps in place to achieve that goal. And of course, that's going to help you get there, right? So it's funny because my goal for 2024 was to reach 5K profit in a single month by the end of the year. And
mhm.
then I wanted to kind of, set that as my new standard. And I managed to achieve that. I believe it was the end of July. So, I achieved that in almost half the time, right? So I feel like that wouldn't have happened if I didn't aim so high with my goals. And then now it's just a case of growing and growing that up even more. Um, so my next goal that I want to be hitting is 10K profit in a single month. I've got a way to go yet, but it's on the horizon, I think.
Yeah. You can do it. Like it sounds like you're going in the right direction and you're scaling up in the right way. And I'm sure you'll hit that very soon.
Sure, yeah. And obviously it doesn't stop there. Like from there, I want to just keep growing it. And to me, there's no limit. I want to take it as far as I can because I feel like it'd be stupid not to. At the end of the day, there's people doing these crazy numbers, and what's stopping me from achieving
Yeah.
that? What's stopping the people from what that's watching this video from achieving that?
Yeah, yeah.
If
No,
I'm
it's
able
the
to,
right mindset. It's the right
yeah.
kind of mindset. Yeah. Um, and my next question, because I'm sure everyone's wondering, speaking of everyone that's watching, uh, I'm sure everyone's wondering what the source is. The board behind you. What is the source?
So the source is basically a group I created. It's an educational group where I teach everything Amazon FBA that I've learned. It's probably going to be inverted, but it says the blueprint to success.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's the blueprint to my success. So everything I've learned along the way, I teach inside my group. So I've had a decent amount of clients that have joined, started up, and they learn everything from the very beginner basics to, growing the business to good, healthy levels where they're making good money from it. And so that's my goal because the way I see it, if I'm doing something that's making me a good amount of money, Amazon FBA has changed my life, and I can make some money off teaching other people this business is then going to change their life. Why would I not do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what the source is all about.
I mean, it sounds good because it seems like as obviously you're teaching what you've learned, but it also sounds like as you learn, then everyone else is going to like learn as well, which is
Exactly.
which is pretty cool because it's like that's like the best way to like learn this game. It's not about the like the sugar coated, oh yeah, just sell for a bit and you'll end up on a yacht and you'll just make money. Like it's this real approach where as you learn and as stuff happens with you and to you and for you, as you pass that on, like that's the real stuff. Like that's the real gritty stuff that people like need to know. So I like that you have like a very real so like hands-on approach to that and as you learn they learn, which is awesome.
Exactly. It's not none of this get rich quick scheme. You're not going to
Yeah.
start out as an FBA next month, be making money from a beach in Dubai. It don't
Yeah.
work like that. It's going to be hard, but if you put the work in and you stick to it, it's going to be very rewarding. So,
Mhm.
but
Awesome.
I like to always make people aware that, you know, it isn't. it isn't going to make you this stupid amount of money in a stupidly short period of time. Like you got to keep it real
Yeah.
because a lot of people are selling a dream online and it puts a bad name on people that are then trying to help people out because everyone then just puts them under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
But I think you can keep it real. Amazon isn't easy, but like I say, it's very rewarding when you get it locked down.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm sure you have helped and you're going to help lots of people escape their plumbing apprenticeships. The
That's the
plumbing
plan.
industry is going to see a massive decline.
The rates are dropping.
Um, so I think that brings us nicely onto the little aspect at the end of every interview whereby we just talk about whatever sort of like comes to my head. So obviously with the plumbing stuff because obviously when sort of like a little story with myself, like my first job was actually as a chef. And the idea of that, as I'm sure the idea was with you and plumbing, was just get a practical job. Like just get something that's practical and that you're basically guaranteed to get a job in. And that's like the thinking behind it. Now, I will not go back into a kitchen. I'll do my own cooking, sure, but like I will never set foot back into a kitchen. But there are some great things that I actually got from that helped me to this day. Like, is there anything with like plumbing that you've been able to take from then to now, like with your own like, I don't know, if you get a leak or something, like, can you sort that yourself without having to call someone out?
Honestly, probably not. So in my college course, I wasn't paying all that much attention because when I'm learning something that I'm not interested in, it just goes in one ear out the other.
Yeah, yeah,
So I wasn't actually learning all that much. And then the actual apprenticeship wasn't even just plumbing, it was more just general building construction. So we were doing stuff like digging trenches and then laying a few pipes. But honestly, I didn't take all that much from it. So bit of a waste of time, but it led me here, so
yeah.
can't complain.
I was gonna say if
But
I mean you can dig a trench, like it's a very
I,
handy skill to have if you need to dig a trench, so you'll be an expert in that.
so
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely
And
wouldn't go back to plumbing though. But
no offense to anyone that's watching this who has a history of with plumbing. Um,
definitely not. I know some plumbers making some good money, but it's not for me.
it's like there you go. Like if you want to be a plumber, be a plumber. But if you want to be an Amazon seller, be an Amazon seller. If you want to join the source, join the source.
Yeah.
And so like outside of like everything Amazon, like what do you like to do? Like what would you like to do in life besides make money?
So non-making money talk. My goals in life are to just become the best version of myself and live my life to the fullest because I feel like, we're blessed to be even here, living, breathing, whatnot. So why would you not want to enjoy that and experience it to the most that you possibly can, right?
Yeah.
That's my, main goal in life in general. And I think everything that I do day in, day out kind of helps lead towards that goal,
Mhm.
even with business, but outside of business too. I like going to the gym because it, improves my physique, my health. So it all kind of ties into that big main goal of just really living my life to the fullest potential that I possibly can and becoming the best version of myself.
Mhm. And like with that as well, I'm assuming just based on what you've said that you've been around a bit. Like have you holidayed a lot or
So yeah, I've had my fair share. I haven't gone crazy with it yet, but when I go away and go on holiday, whatnot, I like to do it big because
yeah,
I obviously I've been in the business for a while, so I feel like it's only right that I kind of you know, reap the rewards of business and
yeah,
actually enjoy it to the fullest.
yeah, yeah.
Some people aren't able to do that, which is a shame. So I feel like the fact that I'm able to, I'm gonna make the most of it, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, last year it was one of my goals for, about 5 years ago. I wanted to take my mum on holiday,
Yeah.
And last year, from my Amazon profits, I managed to do that. So that was a really big thing for me.
Nice. That's really
Yeah,
sweet. So what you
yeah,
paid for what the entire holiday for both of you?
yeah. And my little brother as well.
Oh, nice. Where did you go?
So we went to Turkey, Antalya.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I was there on my last holiday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Yes.
uh, and what did you like most about going there?
So honestly, just a feeling of accomplishment that I was even in a position to do that at such a young age, because like I say, it was my goal for quite a while. Obviously, one day my mum's gonna get old and it's not something I'll be able to do. So the fact that I'm able to do it at a young age while she's still healthy,
Mhm.
just yeah, it was really fulfilling.
Yeah. Well,
And I hope everyone watching gets to experience that as well.
and when you went there, because like when I went, I think it was August, end of August. Anyway, when I went, there was this one song that came on at the hotel like the entertainment bits and also throughout the day as well. And I don't know if it's the same song that apparently it's at every hotel, every resort. It's that clap clap, snap snap. Did you have that song pop up on your holiday?
Yeah, yeah, we had that throughout the whole week.
Yeah. It was every day. And then it fills my TikTok. And I thought, is it just us that there and no, I realized that it's every hotel and every resort. And so I just wanted to see like I think you're the first person I've talked to since then who's also mentioned that they've been there. So I just wondered if it was actually the case. And if did you do the dance?
I didn't personally know. Did you?
Yeah, I did. There wasn't really any choice because everyone there where I stayed was like really pushy with it, and they're literally like grabbing people by the arm and like getting them to come up. Like you will do the dance, you will have fun, you will you will
To be
enjoy it.
honest, to be honest, it was mostly just the kids doing it on our hotel. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It was like the opposite at where I was like the kids didn't really do much like it was everyone that was like 20 plus like as long as you were in that sort of bracket like they were just picking you up and like getting you to do it and so yeah that song ended up like nightmarishly stuck in my head for the for the following like 4 weeks
yeah,
um
hearing it in your
yeah
sleep.
it was really nice there though. Like I would go back, but I don't know if you I mean I'm sure that you probably did. But the only thing that really did my head in was the amount of sort of like haggling that goes on. Like when
Yeah,
you just get approached like left, right, and center non-stop over and over and over and over and over when you're literally just trying to walk for
just
one
walk
minute
down
to get to the
the street.
beach or something.
Yeah, you walk about 10 meters and get approached by five different people. Yeah, but it's the same. Like when I went to Cyprus, it was the exact same there in Ayia Napa. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
You're gonna
part
buy
of
it, you're gonna go in and buy it. Like
it.
you don't need someone like putting a handbag in your face and like, asking you like 50 times if you want it for
When when I went to Cyprus with my mates, I've got this one friend and he will always speak to him. He's too nice. He can't just tell him no. So
yeah,
every 5 seconds we're stopping. I'm like, let's just keep walking.
yeah,
Like you don't have to speak to every single person.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They definitely saw him come in.
yeah, 100%.
Awesome. Right. Well, it's been absolutely lovely to have you on this interview session. Really appreciate you sharing your insights and your story. And that I'm not the only one that's heard the clap, clap, snap, snap song in Turkey. And if anyone else here has actually heard that, let me know in the comments. Like if you've been to Turkey and you've heard that song, let me know. And so before we wrap up, definitely give Cole a follow. Like do it. For anyone that wants to follow you, where can they follow you?
So TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, CM_commerce. I'll be coming on YouTube soon, but I don't have that yet.
Nice. Well, what I'm going to do is link all of Cole's socials in the description. So if you want to give him a follow, and I say definitely give him a follow, all of that is available in the description. And then if you want to watch any of our past interviews, then they are all in one handy playlist for you. So under Amazon Seller Journeys, obviously on our BuyBotPro YouTube channel. But Cole, again, an absolute pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Um, and yeah,
Thank
have a
you for
great
having
day,
me.
everyone. And I'll catch you all very soon. See you later.